Hi, my name's Rachel and welcome to How to Connect to Goddess Hel, also known as Goddess Hela. Goddess Hela is the Norse goddess of the dead and the afterlife, and she is queen of the Underworld. She's also the daughter of Loki and Agraboda. She embodies the archetype of the Dark Mother and is known to be a benevolent goddess who is very wise, very clever, and has deep understanding. Her realm is one of mist and ice, and it is a place where the dead go after they have died. The dead that have not died in battle. Those that die in battle would go to Valhalla, and everyone else would go down to the realm of hell. As a goddess, she can teach you how to embrace the darkness, how to see in the dark, to not have a fear of the dark, and the dark being metaphorical and literal, but how to have a perspective that can see and embrace, have allowance for all, whether that be the dark shadows within ourselves, coming to a deeper understanding of them, acceptance and healing them, or whether that means not being scared of the literal dark so that we can go to the toilet on our own without going with someone else, or whether that's embracing that life is a paradox made of both light and shadow. She can also support you in coming into your sovereignty and to make the best of anything and everything. So she made the best of her circumstances and the role that she was given, and she can inspire you to be your best, to sit in your kingship or queenship and to rule your life and what you wish, your dreams well. And so here are my top 3 tips for connecting to her. My first tip is to embrace the darkness. And again, the darkness metaphorical or literal. So many of us, most of us, I should think, are scared of the dark. We have a fear of the dark. Like I said, that whether that means that you can't go out to the toilet, if you're camping outside in the wilderness, or whether that's a fear of the darkness in ourselves. She invites us to get comfy in that realm. She was known as a benevolent goddess. Her realm was not one of fear or pain or agony or torture. It was just a place where the dead went after they died. It didn't have those negative connotations that other cultures and other religions have for the afterlife. And so she can teach us to embody, to embrace kind of those shadow realms, that need to be explored, need to be integrated, that are a part of us and are a part of life. We have day and we have night. They are both, and they're both sides of the same coin. And so an activity to embrace the darkness is to meditate in the darkness, and you can invite her into your space. And you can go out and connect to her at nighttime, dark, dusk, or literally at nighttime. If you're not feeling ready to go out and meditate in the darkness, then you can actually be in the daylight or be in daytime, but put a cloak over yourself. So she had a cloak that was able to give invisibility to those that travelled through her realm. And so you can use a cloak and place it over yourself. And when you're meditating, just breathe. Be in the silence. The darkness, as a meditative tool, can invite us into deeper inquiry. When you are, say, in the dark at nighttime, often this is when our fears or thoughts that are playing on our mind come forward. The deepest parts of ourselves are exposed, and so that is an opportunity to listen, to speak to those parts of ourselves, to listen deeply, to give them an open heart, to give them compassion, to not push them away, hide from them, tell them they're wrong, but actually to listen. What is it telling you? What is it trying to share with you? And invite her into that space to have that inquiry and that exploration for you. See this meditation of darkness as kind of like a workout for courage, a workout for your bravery. My second tip is to connect to her sacred plant, and that is holly. Now you can connect to it by planting holly in your garden, and you can use that as a space to go and connect with her, make offerings, ritual or ceremony. Maybe you want to meditate there with the holly plant, sit by it, have your hands on it when you're meditating in the darkness or offering a prayer to her for bravery or courage. Another way to connect to holly is to use holly flower essence. And the flower essences are a high vibrational tool that I teach and coach in them. They're absolutely amazing. Now, holly can help you when you have negative feelings that are perhaps overwhelming. So negative feelings in particular towards other people, and that can be hatred, jealousy, envy, kind of resentment, anything that's, burning over. So, we can have anger, can be justified, and it is good to express that anger. It can show us what, when something is wrong and it needs to be modified or changed. But it's when that anger, that frustration, that seeking of revenge, is leading us into losing control and perhaps not taking right and aligned action. So the invitation is to take and work with holly flower essence. Even if you're not actually feeling that, you can take it when you're feeling these emotions. Just take 2 drops. Anytime you feel this all-consuming kind of frustration. But you can also take it, as a healing remedy 3 times a day, just to work with this aspect of yourself, and to maybe bring these things to the surface so that you can work with them. So going there with intention. Hel really kind of offers us an example of this. She was made or given the job by Odin to be queen of the underworld. It's not necessarily something that she chose, but she did make it her choosing, and she does it well. She did it well. She embraced that. So she could have been full of resentment and anger. She could have destroyed everything and everybody, even brought Ragnarok, early, in her kind of resentment and bitterness of that. But she embraced it. She made it her own. She became queen of that realm. And so she can offer an example in that. So work with holly essence to explore any of those themes if it resonates for you. My third tip is to connect to some of her animal guides and totems. So there are 3 primary ones that you can work with. When I share them now, just see which one resonates, which themes resonate, and you might want to explore that one a little bit deeper. So the first is the bat. And we think it's perhaps where the expression comes, a bat out of hell. So the bat is about seeing in the dark. So again, that's about perspective. What can you see beyond your judgments and your conditions? What do you expect to see and what is actually there? It can also be about rebirth and transformation. So transforming what you have seen and what you have seen truly and deeply from the heart. How is that going to bring through a transformation? Dragon is her second animal, and the dragon guards the spring that's in her realm, the wellspring, and the dragon really symbolizes protection and guardianship. So the wellspring is really representing kind of wisdom and life. So perhaps if you're feeling like you need the protection and guardianship of her in particular, if you are perhaps feeling scared of something, fearful of something, whether it be your own emotions or whether it be something in the world, then perhaps her as dragon form or with her dragon ally might be something to call on. The third one is wolves. So she is of wolf lineage, her wolf brother, the wolf family, and also the wolves that guard her underworld as well. So she's connected to the archetype of wolf, in particular the archetype of the lone wolf. So the lone wolf, he or she that is seeking, that is searching for self. Who am I? Where am I? Where am I going? Why am I here? What am I meant to do? That is her archetype, and she is that, that is finding herself as queen of the underworld and exploring that, embracing that. Again, how can I do this? What does it mean to be this now that I have been given and taken on this identity? That became her purpose, her dharma, her destiny. And so she'll help you explore the same with that as well. Also she embodies the queen of the wolves, kind of that alpha female that is sovereign, that is queen. And so she can teach you about tenacity, about determination, about going after something, I said, and persevering, being courageous and being brave. Now, if you want to know more about Hel as a wolf, and I mentioned her a lot in this book. I even have a retelling of the story of her and her brother Fenrir. So Hel and Fenrir have their own story in here, a powerful healing story, and I do share more about them as well in this book. They have their own sections. You can learn more about the archetype if that resonates with you. I'm a best-selling author of Goddess Mythology, also an empowerment coach, flower essence coach, sacred dance teacher, and I invite you to come into our realm and explore working with Goddess Mythology more, empowering you into courage, into bravery, into sovereign rulership of your own life. You can subscribe, follow below, check out all the other videos, check out my books, come join our Facebook group, etc. There's lots of options for you, and I look forward to supporting you and guiding you in all those different ways. Many, many blessings on your continued journey with Goddess Hela. May she inspire you, empower you, and nourish you. Many, many blessings.